How about Noah Gragson? That was impressive. Noah Gragson wins at Martinsville. Gragson victorious at Kansas.
That's ready to dominate a damn race.
Hey, check it out. Noah Gragson in here now, fresh off that second place finish this past weekend in Phoenix. But I know that that is not where you wanted to finish that race. I know you were disappointed after the race. Is that a good thing for you to have that little taste of disappointment going into this weekend?
Yeah, I think it gives me that motivation to work even harder. This week I've been preparing a lot going into this final race at Homestead, racing for a championship. So I've been wearing out the film all week long, watching last year's race, the years before, in-car footage. So it's been good so far.
What all goes into prepping for, you talked about all the things you've done, but then with your team, Rudy Fugle and all the guys there, how much time do you spend with them talking about every detail of your truck and everything that they expect out of you to go win the race?
I've been driving Rudy crazy this whole week, just asking him little things about the truck and differences, and he's definitely been pulling his hair out, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing that I'm interested in it. And I was talking to my teammate, Todd Gilliland, before we just came on. He said, hey, man, you want to do some iRacing tonight at Homestead? So he's going to come over to my place. We're going to do some iRacing to prepare for it. So everyone's really involved.
That's cool.
You know, no, the first half of the year we watch you. You got a lot of speed, and you get your first win. Things are getting better. You're going along. And then comes Pocono, and you get sick, and you can't race that race. What went through your mind, and what did that do for you moving forward after that race?
Well, it was right before that race, the week of that race, I started changing up my whole schedule, going to bed earlier, waking up earlier, having more of a structured schedule. And then that happens. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to do everything I can to be better, and I can't even race at Pocono because I got sick. So that was a real disappointment for myself. I felt like I let everybody down on my team, but they were all very supportive of myself, and that gave me the motivation watching the race on TV, not being behind the seat of my Tundra. Man, I want to go out there, and I want to go stomp all these guys' butts on the racetrack, and so that gave me the extra motivation to go out there and work even harder.
Talking about butt stomping, how do you attack Miami this weekend? This track is very difficult. You run down at the bottom, or you can run along the fence. What's your strategy? Will you get out next to the wall, or do you just be a little bit conservative?
Last year, I got a flat tire, and I went 3 laps down, and so I wasn't competing for the win. And I started moving up the racetrack, trying to learn how to run the top side. It's an art to be able to run the top side, and it's so challenging. You see those dirt guys that go up there, and it looks so easy, but man, when you're up there, you have your tongue hanging out, just trying to get as close as you can to the wall, and there's a lot of speed up there. So thankfully, I was able to use last year's experience. Even though it was a negative, I used it as a positive because I felt like we were going to be championship contender material this year. And fortunately, we are able to contend for a championship. So just going back to my notebook, reading that and seeing what it's like to run the top side. I have it. I don't know if I'm going to use it until it's needed just because I'm not great at it yet, but it's definitely tricky for sure.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but your owner, Kyle Busch, he probably expects that you're going to win this thing on Friday night. Does that add a little bit of pressure, having him as the guy atop the pit box?
Yeah, he called Rudy Fugle. I was with him today. We were watching film. I mean, I've spent all week with Rudy, and he said, tell Noah that it's all about restarts. Hopefully the other 3 guys are not watching this.
I'm sure they're not.
But it's all about restarts, and he gave me a few other tips and tricks. So talk to him a little bit with my crew chief, Rudy Fugle, and he's definitely going to be very demanding.